Good day to you, gentle person from the internet, and thank you for joining me as we look at, I suppose, another step on my eternal quest to find games of relaxation, games that we can just chill out to have a pleasant experience for a little bit of while and then go back to the daily stresses of our life. But yeah, those little points of relaxation are important. I mean, sometimes you can't afford to go outside and look at a view or take a trip or something like that. Sometimes you just need a little break for a little while. And I think there is definitely a space for games like this, indie games like this, to fill that need just for a bit. And yeah, so let's have a look at this and see if this works for you as much as it did for me. This is Ricochet Simulator, which is a game about skipping stones. And yeah, there's not really that much more relaxing than just sitting by a smooth, flat lake and just skimming some stones across the water, harmlessly, and it's a little sort of challenge with a lot of variables in it that is quite relaxing to pursue, sort of a quest without an end, a quest where it's all about the journey and the journey is relaxing. At least that's how I see it. So let's see how this game works. It's pretty simple. I don't think we're going to spend too much time on it. So this is us over here, and we're picking up stones from the top of the beach, and we take it down and we flick it out across the water, and then we get a few points for however well it does. You see, it's our score up at the top left there. So it's 18. We've just found a pebble, and we chuck the stone out, and it gave us 8 points there, so we're up to 26. And then what we can do with the points is there's a bit of an incremental mechanism in here just to give us something to do, really. So it costs us 6 points just to boost our strength a point. And yeah, so we've spent it. Our strength has gone up a little bit more, so we're now throwing rocks just a little bit further. If you look on the top right here, you can see how many bounces we managed to reach, our kind of bouncing record, how far in distance we've reached. There's a little sort of ruler down at the bottom here telling us how far the distance is, and the max score we've reached on a single throw, and then the total number of points that we've made. And our sort of meta goal in this game is to try and get to 1,000,000 points. But yeah, this is more about the journey than the destination, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. But what we can do is we can find a friend. We can spend 9 points and just summon a friend to make more ricochets together. And then another guy comes and he's also throwing rocks, and I think the upgrades apply to him as well. And if we want, we can even hire another friend. Something that is worth noticing, just for the sort of the gameplay mechanism, the balance, is that every time we buy one of these, everything goes up in cost. So for example, if we buy everything is 16 points for the next thing. If we buy another point of strength, it goes up to 20, and they're all up to 20. Even though we haven't even spent any points on the spin. So yeah, so we have a score for all of the things, and that's kind of just how it works. As we buy certain things, the amount goes up. So let's put a point in spin. That unlocks capacity. We can pick up more rocks every time we go back there. That unlocks precision, so the stones don't go off at an angle quite as much. And there's research. We basically get better at finding good stones for skipping. Technique increases the chance of ricochets at low speed, so it manages to skip a little bit longer, I suppose. Cooldown. So yeah, it just reduces the time it takes for us to get a rock, take the rock to the water's edge and throw it. It's quite nice. And then control reduces the time between each ricochet, so it kind of tightens it in a bit so it doesn't bounce quite as far. Sort of we get more skips in a shorter distance just to try and rack up those points. And then mastery, just getting each ricochet reduces the stone's speed a bit until it finally stops. And what mastery does is gives us a chance for a particular bounce to not actually reduce that speed. Just have a perfect bounce, as it were. So those are all of the upgrades that we have, and we can focus on a particular upgrade or kind of spread the points out evenly amongst them. For example, I can just keep buying friends until I run out of points. We just have more people throwing stones, So we just get more points per batch, as it were. And I like that idea, just max out the number of people we've got there. Of course, it's making everything else more expensive as well, but that's fine. That doesn't really matter. Oh, we've almost maxed out. There we go. We've maxed out the number of people we can have. So all of these guys are just chucking stones together. That's nice. And we can drag across to see where the stones, or zoom out, see where the stones go. There's some options down here. We can turn the ruler off so it's not sort of marring the view of the water. We can even turn the numbers off if we want to just have the stones. I don't know if you can hear the sound. I hope you can. I hope it's coming through. It's just the sound of the stones splashing on the water. And we can pick the next thing to sink points into. Let's get our spin up so our stones just travel further. Just every time our points hit the next mark, which is 282. Buy some more points into it. Oh, we've maxed out spin. Now we're getting some really good stones scattering out there. They're scattering in different directions, but that's fine. I would love to actually go and do this. Just go out, find a nice calm lake edge like this. I'm assuming it's a lake. I mean, there is another edge, so I guess it's more like a river, but it's very, very flat, very, very still, flat river. And just go with a couple of mates and just skim some stones across. Maybe have some drinks and food and little sort of setup over here where we can, once we've finished skipping stones, we can go and settle down and, you know, just have a chat around a fire or something like that. You know, there's an actual day out at the side of a lake, well, a river or lake, where the objective is just to skim some stones and relax and talk and yeah, that would be amazing. But that is all the gameplay I'm going to show. I think it's pretty obvious what this is about. The link is in the description, so if you want to try and reach 1,000,000 points, and the game even lets you continue past the 1,000,000 points, it pops up, you know, a little window and says, well done, you did it in a certain amount of time and all of that kind of thing, if you really want to chase time limits and that stuff. And then if you just click continue, it gives you a few of the attributes here to try and increase even a little bit further. Yeah, it's a very well designed game, and I do recommend coming to play it. So yeah, link is in the description. Come and give it some love. Come and give the developer some love. And if you want to give me some love, don't forget to like or dislike the video. If you liked it or disliked it, don't forget to leave a comment telling me why you liked it, why you disliked it, what you think about skipping stones, anything you want. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video if that's all you came to see and you're going to head out now. If you want to talk about a little bit of critique for the game, UI is absolutely fine, although there's no way to get back to the menu, I don't think. There's just options down there. We can turn the sounds and things off. So not really a lot of quality of life controls, but then there's not a lot of stuff to control. There's only one kind of sound, which is the skipping stones, which is fine. I would, moving on to sounds a little bit, I would add just a very chilled out lo-fi track in the background, and like I was saying, artwork speaking, I would add in a little sort of encampment here, and every time you summon another friend, maybe add another chair that's around the fire until you have the fire surrounded by chairs and drinks and things scattered around, to show that you're having a chill time, maybe even a tent or something like that to show that you're camping here. Or like a car parked there, you know, you're sort of clustered around a car boot where you've got food and drinks and things set up and some chairs to watch the lake. Yeah, just to add that extra element in there. I mean, it's not important, it's not serious, but I just think it would be a nice detail just to say how we got out here, kind of what we're doing here, more than just skipping stones. Yeah, and then a lo-fi track that is music playing from a boombox or something on the back of the car. I've set my age there, talking about boomboxes and things like that. But yeah, I think I would add a fair bit to the vibe of the game. Just a really slow, laid back, lo-fi track. With the sound control, we could turn the music on or off separately from the rest of the sounds, and yeah, sort of just show the car and some relaxation items here. To say that once you've finished skipping stones, you're going to go and chill out. I think that would add to the relaxation. Otherwise, yeah, the gameplay is fine. I did see people complaining that when you zoom out, if you want to see all of the stone skipping, you suddenly can't see these things. So it would be nice if these were kind of not pinned to a point on the shore, but rather pinned to a corner of the screen. So even if you zoom out, the words are still, the upgrades are still here, maybe in like a drop-down menu or something like that, rather than just as part of the background. I think that would be nice. I think that would be nice if you didn't have to have zoom in to have a look at those. Because people like to zoom out and just watch the stones rather than watching the people. So I guess that's kind of a UI design and or gameplay design. Other than that, I like all the settings. You could, as a possible sort of future upgrade, you could just add more flavor in, have the guys chatting to each other, complimenting each other's skims, anything like that. You could add in like a storyline element or anything along those lines. Not necessary, but it would be entertaining, amusing, just to have more signs of life going on amongst the people. Not necessarily something you have to do, because you're just focused on the incremental side of increasing the stone skipping skill, but it would be nice to have that extra flavor in there. I mean, I already like the little telling you about what rocks you're picking up and how that's going. Let's boost the capacity up so that they can spend less time going backwards and forwards, a bit more time picking up rocks and then a bit more time throwing the rocks. I quite like that. Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, I think the game is successful. What its dominant feeling is supposed to be, I think, which is the relaxation and the sounds of throwing a rock to skim it across the water. I mean, it is one of those most calming and satisfying things to do. If you've never been skipping stones, go and find a body of water near you, because go somewhere where there's rocks, where you can look for some nice flat rocks and just skim them out. People need to do that more. It is very, very pleasant, a very fun way to do it. To just spend not even a lot of time, just you could spend like 10 minutes skipping stones maybe, and then have somewhere to sit and have some soft drinks if you prefer, alcohol if you're of age and not permitted to drink, and it's a good idea where you are and you have a designated driver, and all those things you need to combine with alcohol to keep yourself safe and other people safe. And yeah, just go and do it. It is a good thing to do. And that's it, really. I just wanted to show this off because I thought it was nicely done, nicely made, relaxing. Does have some potential to go a bit further. We can have a look at what the developer says about it. No, we can't, because it's one of those games that opens itself into a kind of a separate window. But yeah, just enjoy your time on this quiet beach, learning to skip stones. Okay, it's supposed to be a beach, although there is a shore on the other side, so it's the beach of a river rather than the beach of an ocean, I suppose. And he does mention that he has a much more complex incremental game on the that he links to and things like that, so this is just his simpler game. Yeah, play the game, post your time, come and enjoy it, and come and chill out of it. Don't worry too much about times and things like that. That's not really what it's about. It's about relaxing. And thank you for watching, and I hope this has been calming and possibly even a little bit enlightening, and I hope to see you in the next video, and I do appreciate you being here, and have a good day. Goodbye.